Well, I really want to welcome you here. If you're here for the first time, don't just be a first-time guest and then say, well, I went there as a guest. No, we don't. We do have guests and we don't have guests. We have people. This is family. This is a home. Our big message that we want to put out to everybody is when you come here, welcome home. Welcome home. We want you to treat this as a home. Come on a Sunday, it's a home. Everything that we put on in the week, it's a home. The children of their home. Please make sure you don't forget to pick them up. I know what you're thinking. Oh, come on, love, let's just quickly exit down the drive. They won't even know we've gone. Yes, we'll be on the phone. We'll be delivering them around in the church minibus later. Yeah. Did you forget anything? Yeah. Hey, many times during the years of being here, when our children were small, I'd get home, and even when they were bigger, Gillian would say, where's the kids? I thought you got them. I forgot. Got to come back, pick them up. So don't do that. So today, welcome, and welcome home. Welcome home. I want you to know when we're communicating from the front here that we speak on a Sunday, but we're actually preaching into Monday. When you pick up your loaf of bread in the morning, it wasn't baked in the morning, it's baked today, ready for tomorrow. So today, this message is a message intentionally prepared to set you up for the week, to set up your life. It is not randomly all over the place. If it is, that's my fault and I need to correct it. It is intentionally speaking into your tomorrows and into your life. Are you ready? Let's go to the Bible, shall we? Mark chapter 8. We have just 4 verses that we're going to read today. And it says they came to Bethsaida, and some people brought a blind man and begged Jesus to touch him. He took the blind man by the hand and led him outside the village. When he had spat, not nice, but it's there on the man's eyes, and put his hands on him, Jesus asked 4 words. Do you see anything? Do you see anything? And he looked up and said, I see people, but they look like trees walking around. Trees with legs. Once more, Jesus went back to him and said, okay, let's give it another go. Jesus put his hands on the man's eyes, and then his eyes were opened and his sight was restored. And it says he saw everything clearly. Everything clearly. Jesus sent him home saying, don't even go. Don't even think about it, mate. Going back to that village where you just come from. Go home. Go home. The title of this message this morning, we always like to give a kind of heading to what I'm talking about, and every Sunday that you come there will be a heading, a title, so you know where to think your thoughts about. And I'm taking those words of Jesus, and so my message today to you is called, Do You See Anything? Do you see anything? Helen Keller was born in 1880. She lived to 1967. That would make her 87. But Helen Keller contracted a disease when she was just 19 months old. And we know from history, from her story, that is well told, that Helen Keller, following this disease, was both blind and deaf for the rest of her life. 85 years blind and deaf. In later life, this is what she said: the only thing worse than being blind is having sight but no vision. Today is a very special day. It's a very special day for me because it's a day where I get to see, along with all of you beautiful people, the faces of children that have been waiting and waiting and waiting. Today we get to look into their eyes and see them. It's called vision. And Jesus said to the man, "Do you see anything?" And I challenge every one of you as young adults, young people here in this service today. Do you see anything? You see, lots of people go through life seeing things as they are. I contacted Dudley Council last week by email because I was tired and fed up of seeing Cinderbank Island, the first island just up there. You probably came round it. If you came over it, you should have gone round it. All right, that's just a little bit of wisdom for you in church, worth coming for. And if you go around it, you'll see there's a very tall tower, and on the top of that tall tower is like 3 aluminium shapes. They are flames because this is called Cinderbank, and this road was created from the cinders from the foundries that were dotted and scattered around. You know, Maryhill Centre was one of the biggest foundry and steel making places in history. So this road, Cinderbank, was built on cinders. And so somebody designed Cinderbank Island with this great obelisk with 3 flames. And by each flame, when you leave church today, you will look up, hopefully be careful, look forwards as well, and you will see 3 lights. They are laser lights. The Dudley Southern Bypass that enters over there was built with lasers. And then the council decided, this is what I've now found out following my email from somebody in our church who actually told me the truth this week. Before they ever were turned on, they were turned off, because they were a distraction to drivers and aircraft. You didn't realize there was an airport around here, did you? That's the truth. The reason I bring up that story is because what do you see? I see things like you see things as they are, and we go, we scratch our beards and we look into the air and go, I wonder why that's like that. And then we go, yeah, but that's the way it is. If you looked at your family and go, well, that's the way it is. But the purpose of vision is not to see things as they are, but to see things as they could be and should be, and to say to them, hey, this is how it could be. Don't ask why things are by asking the question why. See the future and ask why not. Out of everybody in the world, everybody on the planet, we could right now, every one of you, change history by asking why not. That young man there asked why not. Over here, why not? Why not? Why not? Don't just see things as they are and say why. Oh, yeah, that's because of. Ask why not. I encourage you to go for it today. You see, without vision, nothing gets done. Nothing changes. The world stays the same. Your family, your life, your job, your career, your home, your car stays the same. I speak to you today and say, what do you see? What do you see? Say what you see. What do you see? Today I'm talking to you about vision. You see, as the children spend their first day in their very own building, they don't know that it was first conceived in 1999. They actually don't care, and neither do I. All we care about now is it was conceived. It is now built. It isn't yet paid for. Smile. But we're in. How many of you know that's a massive step? See, the children are in there today. And so I want to talk to you about the power of having vision. But there's a second P that I want to talk about, and it's the process of having a vision. Many people want the power of a vision. Very few people ever carry out vision because they don't like the process of having a vision. If I ask you to raise your hand if you like the process of cooking a roast beef dinner, I think the days have gone now when everybody goes home and has a roast beef dinner. Maybe not for you. There are families that still have roast meals for family dinner. But, we're in a microwave generation. We want a ready meal. Get home from church, bing, and he's in. I've looked on the back of the box. 2.5 minutes, I gotta wait. Hurry up, I'm starving. Hey, you can wait 2.5 minutes if you want something quick and easy and non-nutritional. But how many of you know if you're going to have a fine meal, it's not 2.5 minutes, it's 2.5 hours. Friends, I want to talk to you about your life. What do you see with your life? Now, if you see something fast, forget it. I want to talk to you about the process. Strange, isn't it, how people come here and they go, wow, it's amazing how this has sprung up overnight. Wow, it's an overnight success story. Every overnight success is at least 25 years in the making. People forget that bit. So I'm going to give you just some thoughts today, very, very simple, in the moments that we have remaining here. In fact, I'm going to say 5 things from this 4 verses of Jesus talking to a blind man and healing a blind man. Are you ready? So remember, this is for your life, for your family, for your business, for your work, for your future, and corporately together for our church. Always remember, when the dream is complete, we don't have time to just go, wow, the dream's complete. Now to rest. Dream again. Let me talk to everybody that's over 65. Please, inside this church. Don't say, let's leave it to the young people. Hey, if you're breathing, God's not finished with you. I said, if you're breathing, God is not finished with you. I loved a more senior couple. I won't call them old. I'll call them a more senior couple came yesterday for a nose around the children's building. They didn't have children. They just came and around the building. They said to me, wouldn't this be lovely if the pensioners could come in here and play? I thought, love, you've just given me a brilliant idea. Woo! Come on, BT, down the slide. Woo! What a brilliant idea. Are you ready? On that zip line. Woo! All right. 5 things from this passage. Number 1, vision takes you by the hand and leads you. Vision says, come here. You feel it tugging. You feel it taking you. But it says Jesus led him by the hand, and it specifically says it took him by the hand and led him outside of his village. And presumably outside the village was the city. You see, though the man was blind, Jesus wanted to introduce him to a brand new, not only set of eyes, but a brand new life and vision. You may live in this area. I'm pretty sure you do. I mean, we have people traveling half an hour, 45 minutes to an hour to get to church nowadays, which is wonderful. Our first Champion Life group that has just been planted in Stoke-on-Trent this week. Our first one in Stoke-on-Trent. Come on, everybody. So if you like Stoke, you can go there. But you see, Jesus leads you, vision leads you and says, now let me take you outside of what you are familiar with, what you are comfortable with, your comfort zone. Never be mistaken thinking that people with no eyes who are blind can't see. We had a lovely old couple in our church a number of years ago. Their name was Ernie and Gwen. Gwen was totally blind. Lovely couple. Got to know them over many years. And I'll never forget one day when Ernie, her husband, was talking about them going on holiday. And this is what he said to me. He said, oh, going away next week. We won't be here. He said, Gwen loves her room with a sea view. I walked away, I thought, but Gwen is blind. But she loves a sea view. You see, you may be blind, not physically, spiritually, emotionally, but that doesn't mean to say you don't feel and see and know and get used to. And Jesus said, vision, come this way. Let me take you out into a better place. First point, vision leads you out of the familiar and into somewhere where you've never been before. Point number 2, vision messes with your sight. Jesus spat on the eyes, in the eyes of a guy. Not nice. That's messy business. Won't go there. Spat in his eyes, put his hands on him and said, be healed. Vision, I've found, messes with your sight. It causes you to see that which you've never seen before with your own life. If you have a vision, it will mess you up. It will take you into a new place. And as God will start to open your eyes. And let me ask you this question. What do you see? What do you see? Point number 3 is, vision says, do you see something? Jesus said to the man, what do you see? Do you see something? He said, yeah, I see men like trees. Oh, okay. Start again. But that's a brilliant thought, you know. Because vision to start with is very hazy and fuzzy. And you kind of, I think I see men, but they don't look like men, what I've heard about them, because I have never seen one, but I think that looks like a person, but it looks to me like a tree. So point 3 is this. Once it messes with your eyes, and you rub your eyes with a new sight, you won't quite see it yet. This is where most people stop. And they go, I can't see it clearly. Now the rain is gone. I can see Deirdre now the rain is gone. You should never quote that in church. Okay, behave. I think I can see something. Okay, so let vision touch you again. 4th point. That's better. You see, the process of vision says, I can't see it all. That's okay. Now step further. Let Jesus lead you further by the hand. And then it becomes clear. The difference between being a world changer, friends today, all in this auditorium, and being just ordinary is where you stop in that process. Because some of you will say, I never quite saw it properly. No, you got to push through so that men start to look like men and trees look like trees, but men don't look like trees. Push through and you begin to see the pieces forming. You go, yes, I get it. And then it's all guns blazing. Vision comes again and again. That's one of the signs that you have a vision being birthed in you. By the way, if you have a vision that's smaller than you, don't believe it. That's no challenge. Write it off. If you have a vision that's the size of you, that's not God. Don't go with it. Don't waste your time. But when you have a vision that's much bigger than you, that's God. You are not on this planet as a human being to have a vision smaller or the same as you. You have to step out and say, I've got a new sight. I'm in a new city. I'm in a new place. I can see it. It's bigger than me. 5 things. And Jesus finally said, this is interesting, when the guy was healed, the last thing that Jesus said to him is this: hey, I brought you out the village for a reason. Look at that. Wow, there's a city. Wow, I only got used to the corner shop in my village. Now there's a supermarket and there's a Merry Hill and there's a, wow. The guy said, what am I going to do now? And Jesus said, go home. But then said this, don't go back to the village. Do you know why he said that? Because it's very easy when you've stretched with a dream and stretched with a vision that you go, nah, it's too big. And you go home. Oh, silly, silly me. I shouldn't have believed that. Shouldn't have dreamt that. You twit. No. The stuff of vision says don't go back. See, I look out here today, and I have to be honest, I'm just being real with you, that the thought of having 150 children, I don't know how many there is out there today, 200 maybe, I don't know, we'll find out later. The thought of them not being in the service kind of made me a bit nervous, because I was thinking, all the empty seats, but now you've filled them. You see, lack of vision causes you to go, oh, no, I've got to hang on to what I've got. No, get out. Get out. I want to spend the rest of, I have 10 minutes and 3 seconds, so that's long enough. I want to tell you my story as a little boy. In fact, we're going to see a picture of myself and my brother John. It's my older brother John. I'm the fat, chubby one. There's a photograph of myself and my brother on holiday once, and I'm sitting on his lap, and my brother is like, because this great fat baby is perched on him, cutting off his oxygen supply. So we never had a photograph anymore. We had to sit side by side because I was too fat. I don't know how old I was there. I'm sure somebody will shout and tell me I was probably about, I don't know, what age do I look? About 12? All right, just a toddler. I've never told this story before, apart from in the first service today, of course. But I'm going to tell you today. And I was taken as a little boy to Sunday school. And I sat downstairs. In fact, we've got a picture of my Sunday school back at the chapel. And we can see it there. Wooden floor, 30 seats, wooden everything. There we go. That was the upstairs. The downstairs was worse. There were no chairs downstairs. There was wooden benches. And we were supposed to be excited to go there. And so, from the picture of me as a little boy, I'd just be a little bit older, and I remember this is a day in my life I never forget. And I was sitting, I can see where I sat in the downstairs Sunday school, and I was so shy and so timid. I was too shy to let the teacher know that I was desperate for a wee. So I just wet myself. And some of you are going to find that funny. And some of you are going to go, are we supposed to laugh, or are we supposed to go, or what are you supposed to do? Just say disgraceful, disgusting. But that's what I did. I don't have many memories of that time in my life apart from that day. It was very warm and very wet. I'm not talking about the weather either. And I sat on that tiny little chair. I was too afraid to put up my hand and say, please, miss, I need to go to the toilet. I can remember it in my little mind now going, Mark, there's only two options here. You either put up your hand or wet yourself. So I decided for me the easier option was wet yourself. And I never forgot it. Probably because I felt embarrassed, ashamed. Because when all the other kids, which were probably about 12 children, got up to leave, I waited. And when I got up to leave, I was absolutely soaked in my little shorts. I left a pool on the floor, pool everywhere. One traipsed along the floor. And when those kids saw it, yeah, he's wet himself. He's wet himself. I was completely humiliated. It is possible that that contributed to my shyness in growing up, because it made me feel such a fool. Friends, the reason I tell that story is for one reason today. Is when I think about it, I never thought that God, as a very shy, timid, insecure little boy, I never thought that Jesus could ever get a hold of my life and cause me to have a vision. This is not about me. I know it is, but it's not. It's about me conveying that to you, because I know there are here people today, you feel timid and shy, introvert, and you only think that God uses extroverts and all that kind of rubbish. And I just want you to know that if you'll open your heart to Jesus, He can open your heart to a vision. I would never have believed that one day that God could open my heart to see something bigger than that. And today we see some pictures of not the old Sunday school, but we can see now the pictures of your children's auditorium. Beautiful. The corridor, the cave corridor. One of the rooms, the forest room, the space room, and the underwater room. Please don't say to me, where's the Bible verses on the wall? No. Each one of those is a wonder of creation. Space. He knows and names every star. He knows every fish. He created it. And He knows every tree, every butterfly. I love the fact that the children can go up and touch the butterflies on the wall and the birds. All God's creation. What do you see? I never believed, with my little life, that I could dream a dream and one day see it become a reality. And I encourage you. So I'm going to give you 5 words. If you got a chance yesterday to look into the children's building, if you didn't, it's too late. You'll never be allowed to go in anymore. You see, even down to the tiniest detail, we've tried to think about every single detail, because God is in the detail. If you look at the coat hooks for the children, they look like pieces of wood, and then when you put your finger on the coat hook, it pulls it down and then it pushes back up, just so that the children don't bang themselves on their head and hurt themselves on a coat hook. So these very unique things, we put those in there. So with that in mind, I'm going to give you 5 coat hooks to hang your thoughts on. Are you ready? 5 words that describe vision. Number 1, it starts impossible. Nah, we could never do that. No. God, no, I could never do that. That's the first word, first hook. The second hook is this word, improbable. Impossible says it can never be done. Improbable says it probably won't ever be done. You have to war with that word. And then the third word is inconceivable. which means it's possible that it could be done, but it's very difficult to conceive that it could be done. And then the fourth hook rather, for you to hang your thoughts on is insurmountable. Meaning there's 1,000 things against us. We can't, it's insurmountable. We can't do it. There's too many problems. But friends, if you'll just push through 4 and get to 5, I want to leave it with you to say this. If you go through insurmountable and impossible and incredible, you come to the word incredible. If you would be a person today that says, God, I am blind, but I ask you to touch me, give me vision, give me sight, give me understanding. God, in your heart, no matter how introvert, insecure, scared, timid, shy, whatever it is, God can do it with you. And He will take you through stage after stage and process. But friends, it's worth it for the incredible. If I were to wrap you up a little takeaway meal today and put it in a little container and put a bow and a ribbon on it, I'd give you 3 small words. First of all, it's impossible. Then it's difficult. Then it's done. Some of you are stuck on the impossible. That's God's job. Some of you are now stuck on the difficult. That's your job. But then you get it done. That's yours and God's job together as you. Come on, everybody. Is anybody out there today? I said, is anybody out there today? You know, let me talk to every man right now. You don't have a vision for your life. You go, well, I got to work, come home, got to work, come home, got to work, and it's the merry-go-round of life, and you get off into the weekend, and then on a Monday comes and, flop. Got to do it all over again. Get a vision for your life. You see, right now, you have the opportunity to dream a dream, to see something bigger than you, to see something that you can. So let me ask you, Gwen, what do you see? Do you see anything? I inspire you, I pray today with all of my heart to be a world changer, to be a history maker. Stop seeing things as they are. Now start today to see things as they should be and could be. Come on, everybody, let's see things as they could and should be. Right here, right now, as we draw this service to the last few moments of its conclusion. This is very important because herein lies and hangs the rest of your life from this day forward. You can't change the past. Only God can forgive the past, but you can't change it. But you can change what you see in the future. I'm going to ask every man, every woman, every young adult, every young person right here to examine your own heart. Let me ask you this. What do you see? What do you see? Do you see anything? Oh, I don't know. Well, if you'll open your heart, you'll start to see things. I'm going to ask everybody here today that wants to commit with the rest of their lives to seeing a brighter future, to dreaming a dream, to believing for better days, to building a life, to making a difference. So here I am. I say to you, if you want to make your life count, I'm going to ask you to stand, right? If you want to make your life count, stand to your feet. Now, not everybody needs to. I would love that you did. I'm not looking. If you're seated, that's between you and you. It's not between you and anybody else. I'm interested in those who right now say, yes, Mark, I want to make my life count. Let me pray for you. Why don't you just put your hand like that on your heart? It's nothing spooky or religious. It's just do it. Don't have to if you don't want to. Dear Jesus, I'm very much like the blind man of old. I need to get out and see. I need a bigger vision for my life. I need to dream a bigger dream, but I can't see. Would you touch my eyes? so that I can be a history maker, difference maker, world changer. I'm tired of just the humdrum of my life. You didn't put me on this planet just to get by. You didn't put me on this planet to flounder, but to flourish. You didn't put me on this planet just to get through to retirement. You put me here to refire my life. I pray for all these precious people right now. I pray for an explosion of your power in their hearts. Open their eyes right here, right now, to see a brighter tomorrow. In Jesus' name. Why don't we thank God, shall we, for everybody that stood right now? Why don't we all stand to our feet? If you're not standing, why don't you stand to your feet? You know, this whole story hangs on one thing, and it hangs on Jesus. Jesus met a blind man. Jesus healed the blind man. All of our lives hang on Jesus. You know, I'm okay, we're out of time, but let me just tell you one quick. We have a teapot at our house. I go to lots of people's houses in my family, and they don't have a teapot anymore. So if 6 people want tea, are you like that? You have a tea bag in every cup. What's happened to a good old-fashioned teapot, everybody? Don't they sell them on Dudley Market anymore? Anyway, I came into the kitchen a few days ago, and I saw the teapot lid, and the little knob on the top of the teapot lid had broken off. And I said, "Who's broke the knob off the teapot lid?" He was there on the side. Gillian said, "Please, sir, me." Well, she didn't call me sir. She said, "Can you get the super glue and fix it?" So I said, "Oh, I'll do it later. I ain't got time. We're just about to open a building." She wanted me to. Another story. So I got some super glue in my man drawer. Anybody else got a man drawer? Super glue. Everything that you can't find is in that drawer. Pulled out the super glue. Then the plastic top. Nobody's worked this out yet. It's super glue. Plastic top can't get off. Why? It's super glued on. So I squeezed and I managed to pull off the whole top. But as I'm squeezing, then there's super glue where there shouldn't be. This is the truth. Everybody in our house was laughing and I was crying. So I then glued the little knob for the top, put it to one side, and then I went, "It's stuck to me hand. I can't get it off me. It's stuck." They went, "Nah, you're joking." I said, "I can't. My 2 fingers are stuck." I got visions of me coming to church with a super glue tube like this, going, "Praise the Lord." Super glue. So I put it under a tap, and after 5 minutes, I got the tube off my fingers, and then I went, "My fingers are stuck." And I walked around the house like this for 5 minutes, and I could not. Those 2 fingers, it was like that. And I'm walking around like this. "My fingers are stuck. It's painful," as they kept laughing at me. It reminded me of life. You try and solve one problem, and you make another. You solve another, and you get into more trouble. It's just like life until Jesus, the great unsticker, comes along and sets you free. So today, we used to sing a song, "Open my eyes, Lord, I want to see Jesus." I'm aware that you're in this service today. You know about Jesus. You read about Jesus. But when I became about 17 years of age, I heard about Jesus wants to live inside of my heart. And so I said, "Jesus, come into my life." I've never been the same again. That was 40 years exactly this year ago. 40 years ago, I said yes to Jesus. I know there are people here this morning, you want to do that. On the count of 3, I'm going to ask you, if you don't know Jesus in your life, if you've never invited him, the great unsticker of your problems, the great eye-opener, the great one who comes and says, "Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. I was blind, but now I see." It's amazing. It's Jesus, the great unsticker of your problems. On the count of 3, I'm going to ask you to shoot up your hand, hold it up high. And in doing so, you're saying, Pastor Mark, include me in your prayer that I may know Jesus today. On the count of 3. Number 1, 2, and 3. I want you to shoot up your hand. I'm going to point at you. God bless you. God bless you. Who else here today? God bless you. All over this place. That's amazing. God bless you. God bless you. Come on, who else? Hold your hand up high. Right at the back. God bless you. Right over at the back. God bless you. Right by the sound desk. Who else today? Put your hand up high. God bless you. Right down the front. 3 people on the second row. That's wonderful. God bless you. Who else today wants to say yes to Jesus? Hold your hands up high. Many people today saying yes to Jesus. Come on, why don't we thank God for every one of them? Why do we thank God for every one of them? Pray this prayer with me. And as we pray, I want you to be applauding as we pray. Because the Bible says that when people come to know Jesus, heaven throws a party. So Champions is going to throw a party. So start to clap. Here's the prayer. Jesus, say with me these words. Jesus, come into my life. Forgive me of my sins. Make me brand new. Fill me with your Spirit. I give you my life. From this day forward, I'll never be the same again. In Jesus' name. Come on, let's thank God for everybody. Let's worship Him right now.